Hello, everybody. Welcome to Thursday. The S&P 500, it was up almost 0.4% today, making back, what we lost yesterday. The big news today really was the 30-year Treasury bond auction, $22 billion worth, went off really well, which is good. So we had a 3-year earlier this week, a 10-year yesterday, and now this 20-year. All of them were good auctions as far as that goes. Again, we're paying more attention to that because of this big bill that's coming out, trying to see, the impact of that, the tariffs. Are people buying our bonds? Are they selling the dollar? We have seen the dollar come down, quite a bit. It's down over 3%, in the last month alone. So usually, actually, when interest rates go up, you start to see the dollar doing well. But this is a little bit different, probably because of the tariff situation. However, the bond market having a good auction is a really good sign. About a month ago, we had a 20-year, Treasury auction that went off. It was very weak. The market, actually, the stock market dropped 1.6% that day. And if you remember that particular day, they were getting right to the end of when they were going to be voting on this big bill, this big tax cut bill, and the deficit projection was pretty high. Market fell, weak bond offering, and they met that evening and changed the bill and reduced the deficit by quite a bit. And the bond market has been pretty happy with that ever since. And I think, we're hearing in the Senate that they want to reduce that projected deficit even more. And I'm sure the bond market likes that also. So it seems like we're back on decent footing. We'll have to see what happens, as far as that goes. But if you look at what has been going on for the stock market itself, of course, it's not that far from the all-time high. It probably gets there. Hopefully, it stays up there and then continues to go. We're in this time frame right now where the good news is kind of outweighing the bad news, mainly because we can't really see the bad news. What are the impacts of lack of travel, rare earth metal shortages, tariffs, impact on bottom line and consumer prices and those types of things. I think we'll see much more of that in the late summer and the fall. Right now, we're seeing, what came off of good earnings. The artificial intelligence aspect of this is super exciting. That's going to be a huge boon to this, to the stock market potentially. But it is sort of a teeter-totter balancing act. Are these bad things, bad enough to offset the good things? We don't know. I mean, really. I mean, you look at the Federal Reserve; they're trying to figure it out too. We don't know the full impact, so it's fine. Market can run here, but I'd still be a little bit cautious because these things that are sitting out here, they weren't sitting out here last year. They weren't sitting out here the year before when we were talking about artificial intelligence being a big driver, and then it was, and the market did well. But there is a sort of drag on the market now, potentially with all these other things that are out there. However, again, maybe the tax cuts and what have you, and the artificial intelligence are enough to overcome those bad things. And maybe the tariffs don't have as big of impact. Maybe they're changed. Although today there was news from Trump about how he's just going to start assigning, tariffs to these different countries as this deadline comes due. And so to me, that sounds like it would be higher than the 10% that's there. Yeah, we're already at a 17% average. It's going to be kind of interesting to see what type of impact it would have if they start to raise those again farther than they are right now. So, nonetheless, that's what's going on. This is how the market has been going so far, still marching back upward, I think, trying to get out of this, and we'll see where it goes from there. But look forward to seeing you tomorrow. We have our show tomorrow from 12:15 to 1 o'clock on YouTube, Talk Money with Tom. I'll do a summary of what I saw happening in the market, at the beginning of that show for the week. And then also we'll do some question and answer. So if you want to ask a question live, you can do that. So look forward to talking to you then. Thank you very much.